Alright, so this is actually really pretty neat. I took this back apart and I soldered more extensions down here. And in person you can read it, but on the camera it looks pretty bad. You can barely see it, but so 0 and 5, which are punched down to the buzzers for extension 1 and 2. And then we have 1. This is 22 since extension 2 doesn't exist, as I explained with the relay tree. So if you dial 22, that's this one. 3, and then you have 4 at the end, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So all of these are working buzzer extensions now. And to demonstrate, I also switched this to be grounded ringing, as I had explained to you previously. So this is now temporarily giving ground to these rails. So you could hook up a light or whatever you want to the output of this. And then you just need to supply the power to it. So 32 here is 105 volts AC for the ringers. And then down here, the secondary lamp ground, I cut. So this is no longer bridged. So this is actually lamp ground, the upper one. But this lower one is 18 volts AC now. So you can hook buzzers to that rail. So I have the buzzers for the extensions here. And then the ground is coming off of these two. So if you ring... So those two are still working. And then you can hook up to any of these, as I explained. So right now I have 3 hooked up. And so that's actually ringing a bell in this phone. But you could hook it up to whatever bell you want. So that's actually really pretty neat. And so you can actually have... So now this is 22. So if we dial 22, so that's actually really pretty neat. And here's number 1. And I actually haven't tried. Let's just try 4. We'll go through the whole. There's 4. And then this one here is 6. This one should be 7. This one here should be 8. And this one here should be 9. So you can see any of those are working, and you can hook up buzzers, lamps, ringers, whatever you want now to this, and it's fairly simple. I'll still go through later and explain the different pins here. These upper ones I don't think really did much except for this card. This card here was for a special announce system for the Intercom card, and I've never seen this card. Nobody I know has this card, so it's like this is kind of lost history. So as far as I know, those pins go to that, but I'll double check. So those ones are kind of useless, but then these ones here supply different power. So there's like ground accessed here, and you can go for the 105 volts AC or 18 volts. And then you could just go off of here and duplicate it. So if you wanted to hook up all of the buzzers or all the ringers you want to here and actually use all the extensions, then you would just need to come off of here and duplicate it, because you would need to supply the 105 volts power to all of them. And since these ones here are just one singular punch down, because they're not connected to these, then you'd just have to figure out how to duplicate that. But it's pretty neat how we actually have buzzers and ringers. So I haven't ever actually done this, so this is the first time. I knew it would work, just I haven't ever taken the time to wire it up previously, so. And the intercom line itself actually sounds really silent. You'll just have to see for yourself once you actually get them. Basically, I hooked both A battery and B battery to the same power supply as what we hooked up for the 20 volts for the line cards. So this one. So this is supplying intercom power as well. And it's not getting warm, so it seems like it's fine. The only issue you might run into is if you ever hook up like 30 phones and you try and pick them all up, is that'll probably heat up. Because each phone loads the line, so usually 2 or 3 phones talking as intercom is like normal and fine, but if you get above that, then that's when you want to supply separate A battery. A battery is for talking, and B battery is for the relays. So the actual clicking you hear. So those are the relays inside that actually switch when you do the buzzers. You can also hear the relay that clicks when you pick up the phone. So that's the only thing. But yeah, we'll just take a look in the back here. I'm gonna unplug it though, just to be safe. I'll just show you briefly. In the back here is the mess of wires, which is kind of chaotic and hard to deal with. I soldered all the wires here. I had to trace and track down all the colors that are correct and soldered them to here so they won't come off. And I arranged the lamps and the tip and ring and all that. And here's where I got power for the intercom. These violet ones here are for the A and B battery for the intercom talk, and then here is lamp power. And so anyway, that's the whole deal. Yeah, so it's nice. It's all. I think I can actually close this up now, and I won't have to open it again. And then I also punched this down. These are for your actual lines. And it's the order blue, orange, green, brown. So blue is line 1, orange is line 2, green is line 3, brown is line 4. I'll go ahead and mark that though. But those are all punched down to here. So I haven't tested those yet, but they should work. So yeah, as far as I know, my wiring is actually done. So, and the intercom is really pretty neat. I'll go ahead and test it with a rotary phone too if I can. The problem is I don't really have any working rotary phones on hand right now. But yeah, if you want to hook up single line phones, you just go ahead and hook to tip and ring or this tip and ring. You have plenty of hookups here. And then you just need to figure out an RJ11 adapter or whatever you want to hook up. And then if you want to hook up the ringers, like I say, you'll need to have separate power and ground as I explained, but it's all working, so it's pretty neat. So I hope that it'll be enjoyable, and like if you ever have any of those old wooden ringer boxes or anything, you could easily hook it up to this to just have it do something if you want. So it's pretty neat.